Hi everyone, it's Wendy Hodkinson, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the New England region in New South Wales. Just checking in with you again to show you a few of the things that have come to me from the new upcoming annual catalogue, and just to give you a bit of a catch up with what's been happening in my Stampin' Up world. So I'm just going to turn you down to the table and we'll showcase a few things and we'll make a card this morning. So let me just turn it around. Let's see if I can get it to work today. Okay, there we go. Just make sure we're on screen. I'll get myself up on the computer so that we can see each other. Go out a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I've had to do a little bit of research this week to make sure that I could go live in landscape. So hopefully I've gotten that to work, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to be showcasing a little bit about our new annual catalogue that's coming up. Some of these will be arriving in mailboxes as we speak. So for those that are customers and have purchased from me in the previous 12 months, there will be one of these coming out to you shortly. If not in the mail, then I will be catching up with you in person to hand deliver some. So just wanted to, show you what that looks like so you can keep an eye out on the mailbox. And I know that last time I was live, I had a few issues with the orientation. So this time around, I wanted to make sure that everything was good to go, and that way I can showcase a few of the things that I know were missed off the last video because it was a little bit glitchy at the time. I was having internet issues. So I'm going to go through a few of the products that missed out on their showcase last time. So there's a few embellishments that you might not have seen last time around. So I'm just making sure everything's up on my page. Okay, so you've got some great pearls. You've got the basic grain smoky slate, and then these are the pearl trio. Let's just open this quickly. I always forget that they have them. I always turn mine around so that they actually open from the bottom when I get any sort of embellishment. It's just the way I operate, but they're the three colours of pearls. And then I just pop them back in so that I can slip them out from the bottom when I want to use them. So that's just a little tip from me with regards to your embellishments. And then we've got two different lots of embellishments for the in colours. So you've got Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop and Summer Splash. And I'll be using some of those in a little bit when I make a card with you. So you'll get to choose which ones I use down the track. The next thing I wanted to point out was the Mix and Match suite. I've gotten some new products in with my pre-order arriving this week. So I've got the Simply Said stamp set, which you may have seen last time, which has got some great sentiments for a lot of different occasions, and it's designed for a beginner stamper to give them everything that they need with a lot of different options. And then we've got these new ephemera packs. So something a little bit new for Stampin' Up to have ephemera packs. And so these are all just little die cuts that you can adhere. They aren't adhesive, they're just plain cardstock, but hopefully you can see those. If I take them up a bit closer, you'll be able to see the words. And then they've got two of each sheet, and they've got 4 different options. Let's just do the, oh hang on, that one doubles up, so there's that one. And then there's this one with the happy birthday, etc. So these are just little ephemera packs that you can add to your card if you don't want to be doing a lot of stamping. Especially great, as I said, for a beginner stamper or crafter that, you know, they've got that option and they're quick and easy to do. And then they've paired them with, these are the Calming Creek cards. So you've got some different options. Of course, they don't want to come apart when you're trying to do a live, do they? So you've got these different options. So there's 5 different designs. They're just white on the inside, and then you've got the 5 coordinating envelopes to go with them. And they've got cute little designs on the front as well. So we used some of those at the recent onstage event. And so this is something that they've gone into that's new, that's just sort of a mix and match. There's 2 different card packs, 4 different ephemera packs, and a couple of different stamp sets. So there's those. This time around, I also wanted to show you the Thoughtful Wishes stamp set and bundle. So this one goes with the beautiful designer series paper. It's a lovely suite in the catalogue, and I only got the bundle this week. I wasn't going to, and then I changed my mind, all because of one of these gorgeous dies and all the gorgeous things I've seen people do with it. You know, I opened that so that it wouldn't be so difficult to get out. So this die here, this is the one that sold it for me, but you can do the outlines of the stamps, and also there's a lot of coordinating dies that will complement that stamp and die bundle. So that's the Thoughtful Wishes. That, now, while I've got that out, just a little bit of a heads up. I'm in the processes of organising a retreat. And this is one of the bundles that I'm considering making the bundle for the retreat. There will be more details to come on that. It's going to be the end of October. So for anyone that may be interested in coming to a retreat in Inverell, there's more details to come. So catch up with me soon and see the details about that. So I'm sure everyone got to see the Layers of Beauty. That's the one that's got the large, really large stamp that actually fits on the size F block. So that one goes with dies and also with some decorative masks. Now, I didn't open the masks last time, but I'll give you a quick look at those this time, because I find them really, really easy to use once you can get them out of the packet. You've got to love today that it's one of those days, obviously. So these will actually have, I don't know if you can see it on the front there, but they will actually have a little number. So that's number 1. So it gives you the outline of the flowers. Then number 2 gives you the detail of the flowers. Number 3 gives you yet more detail. Hopefully you can see that. Then you've got a couple that are the leaves, and then the detailed veins of the leaves. So they're all numbered so that you know which ones to do, and they've all got this great little notch so that you can line them up quickly and easily and know your placement with them. So that's very, very handy, and I'll be showcasing those later on in another live. So then there was the Hearts and Hugs bundle, which has got the coordinating dies again, which cut out the cute little animals. And also there's some other coordinating dies of, you know, little flowers and a great banner. Lots of flowers and hearts there. And they are just the cutest little things. So I know that they will be showcased in an upcoming class for those that are attending the Lake Keep It camp out near Gunnedah and Tamworth. I'll be featuring that as well as the loveliest tree. Now, I do know that, as I said, my internet cut out and I had a gap for what I showed you last time. This was one of the other bundles. So the loveliest tree is the updated version of Lovely as a Tree, which was one of their longest serving stamp sets. So it's very, very similar sentiments. It has got a little leaf rather than an acorn, which I think will be much more usable in Australia rather than, you know, overseas. And then you've got your outline, plus you can build trees with a topper or just the bare branches. So that's those. Almost done, because I want to get on to making a card with you all this morning. So the Spotlight on Nature was a stamp set that those of us that attended on stage, we got to go to an event called After Hours, and we each got to choose between 3 bundles to what we would utilise on that night. And this is the one that I chose, was the Spotlight on Nature, because I liked the floral imagery. But what sold it for me was the dies, because there are 2 sheets, so that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each, so there's 12. So you can have lots of different variations. They've got stitches, they've got a little, it's like a broderie anglaise top design, a little interjoined one. And so you've got the designs in the different sizes. And that's what I'm going to be using to make a card this morning. But just to give you an idea, these are the dies. Come on. Come out. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the different dies there, because I've cut most of them out in white, mostly because I was actually doing a design at the time. But these, so I've got some in the black and some in the white. So if I hold those up to the camera, hopefully you'll be able to see the different designs and the different sizes. Let's see if I've got that in the right spot. How's that? Okay, and then the black ones. So you can layer them on top of each other and make all sorts of different layers of sentiments and things. Now, I also thought these are the 2 new embossing folders that I've got. They are just huge. They are 6 by 8 inches, so they will certainly cover our full card front size. But more importantly, you know, because they're the 8 inches long, you'll have a bit of overlap that you'll be able to do 2 passes and be able to do a complete 12 by 12 section for your scrapbooking. Also, you've got your 6 by 8 pages, so that will cover the majority of that sort of size. So that is the So Swirly. That's the design there, because it's probably easier to see on the outer rather than the actual embossing folder itself. And then this one I got as well, which was the dotted circles, and I thought it will work extremely well with layering some of these Spotlight on Nature dies with the circular patterns. So that's those 2. And I'll just sit these ones aside. These are our gorgeous new in colours. So you've got Pretty in Pink, which we've had before, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop, which of course is my favourite. And I'm going to make a card. Now, I did have a little bit of time right when I came back from the on-stage event to actually do a little bit of creating. And so I've got a few little bits here. So this is the card that I made, and I had a little bit of help from a friend. that I was staying with, but that's the card that I created using the dies, and I also used the Leaf Collection background stamp. So anyway, let's see where I'm up to with everything. So that was the card, and I figured I would do something similar with a card this morning. So I've got a few different pieces that I have already stamped, and I've got some die cuts, but the question is, which colour should I create? So I'll leave that there for just a minute while you give me an idea of which colour you would like me to create with, and I will grab my cardstock and my trimmer and my stand for the background, and then we will create a card. This is what happens when you do a Facebook Live on the fly. Is just grab a few things from the other room. Okay, so any ideas, any comments there on what colour? No? Looks like I'm talking to myself this morning. So if that's the case, we all know my favourite colour is Petunia Pop, so let's do that one. So I'm going to have my card base. I've got my image already stamped, and I'm going to need some dies, which thankfully I have already got some cut. So I've actually cut these ones in half purely because they will tuck underneath and you won't see the other part of them anyway. So just to save a little bit of cardstock. And I've already stamped the sentiment because we all know how easy it is to stamp sentiments and things straight when you're on camera. So there was no way we were going to do that this morning. So I've got my Leaf Collection stamp. Haven't actually put my backing on it yet, so I'm going to just use it there. And grab out a piece of cardstock for my panel. So, okay, let's just pop some things aside, out of the way, and we will get to creating. So I've already gone ahead and stamped the main image just in Stays On because I wanted to do some watercolouring, and I've got my leaf bundle. Now a lot of people have been doing a reverse, which is something that you can do with this. I'm just going to trim my cardstock down so that it's a bit smaller and will be a panel on my card front. So that's that. And let's go with some Versamark. So first up, I'm going to ink it up with some Versamark, and I've just stuck it to my case because it's a large stamp, and I haven't, as I said, put my my image on it yet. I just haven't had a chance to, basically, because I used it while I was away and didn't get that opportunity. So I'm just going to ink that up with some Versamark ink. And I'm going to lay my panel down onto that. Put a sheet of paper over the top to be able to just rub the stamp to transfer the image without getting ink all over me. Always a good idea to do that. And then we're going to carefully lift it up. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that I turn it over the correct way. So you'll be able to see a little bit of a pattern on there. Okay, so then without re-inking, because it's just Versamark, so it's a clear ink, I'm going to open up my Petunia Pop and I'm just going to ink up my entire stamp, because you're never sure exactly where you're going to place it, so I always make sure that I ink the entire stamp. Probably don't need to worry as much about the edges, but you know, if you're going to ink it, you need to ink it properly. So then what I need to do is, I know that that's the correct way that I did it last time. So then I need to make sure that I flip it the other way so that it's upside down to the way it was. This technique was shared at On Stage. So without moving, I'm just going to put the paper over the top again and give that a good rub. And by inking up the sides, you can see that the ink's coming through the paper a little bit, so that you know that the ink is actually transferring. Lift it up, and then you've got your two-tone panel. I'm just going to set that aside because my cleaner's up the other end, and I will do that shortly. So that's your panel. And what I did to be able to do the colouring was, now these I haven't even put their stickers on yet. Where this is brand new, opened it this morning, ready to go. So we'll do a little bit of colouring. Set that aside. And I have literally just coloured it just all in the one colour, basically. And I've just used the water painters, and I always find that I have to just loosen it off just a fraction to get the water to come out. A little bit of water in there, because I don't want it to be terribly dark. And I'm just going to flick from the bottom of the leaves, because I'm going to colour the leaves and everything else all in the one colour. So I'm just going to lay down the dark first, and you'll notice that I won't be talking a lot, because I have yet to meet somebody that can concentrate on colouring and talk at the same time. And if you can, more power to you, because that's not me. So I love the fact that we've got a smaller tip. So hopefully I'm in shot. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit, so you can see the colouring. Okay, so let's do that one, and I'll check that I'm in shot. Okay, so you'll see as I go, the colour gets a little bit lighter, and as I'm getting less and less on my brush, I can come back and blend out the colour. Sorry, I'm so used to colouring close to me. Blend out the colour a bit so that there's not so much of a line there. A little bit more ink on that one. So just blend out the colour so that it's not as noticeable where that join is. Okay. And it's up to you whether you start on the flowers or the leaves, or it really doesn't matter. The best part with these brushes is that they have got a very fine point on them. So you can, if you've got a steady hand, which is not me this morning when I'm doing a live. So, well, hopefully. So I did entertain the idea of actually doing these, that I just did, you know, all of the leaves green and the flowers different colours, but I liked the idea of them all being, you know, the different shades of the different colours. So I'm just going to put a little bit darker on the bottom there of my flower. And then you come back in over the top and it will do a slightly lighter shade towards the top. Okay, almost done. Okay. Always hard when you're working away from yourself as well. But when I'm doing the petals and the leaves, I tend to try and go away from me so that it's going, the darker part is going automatically towards the base of the flower. And by no means am I an artist. That's why I got into stamping, because I can't draw a stick person to save my life. So it's sort of a case of everyone finds their own style and their own way of doing things, and you know, that's as good as it's going to get for me today. The other thing that I also did was I got my brush. Let's just find the right one. Of course, the purple one will be in with the class pack. Because I'm teaching a class this Saturday, so I've prepped all the products and have them there ready to go. So I'm just going to get a little bit of ink. I'm going to tap it off on my scratch paper. I always like to try and keep one nice for filming. So I'm just going to use this one to put a little bit of colour on the edge. And it's amazing how much colour you can get out of the brush before you have to add more ink. So just be aware of that. And I'm starting off the card and coming onto the edge so that it will colour the edge of the card. And I always like to add a little bit more colour just on the corners. Okay, and then I want to add a bit more water to this because I want to do some splotching. So I'm going to just blend it up and make quite a wet part. I'm just going to use the handle of my brush and just do some flicking of colour onto that. Clean off my brush. Now don't be surprised if with these colours it actually does stain your brush, but it won't have any effect as long as you've gotten all the colour off your brush. Then it will not transfer to your next project. Now I don't like any water to get, because it's a water-based ink pad, I don't like the water to get into my ink pad. So I always like to just clean up with a tissue before I close the ink pad. So that's that. Just make sure it snaps shut. Okay. So that's our panel. And now we can actually assemble our card together. Oh, look, I've even got nice petunia splatter all over my my name and everything. So I'll at least be colour coordinated this time. Okay, so then we'll just do some assembly. And I'm just going to use some Tombow for this, just because it's easier when you're filming. And usually I have my silicone craft sheet here, but it's, of course, with all the class kits. So we will just see how we go. Put a bit of Tombow on. And attach that to our card front. Okay. Now, I didn't put it on dimensionals, I just laid this one flat. But what I did do was I've attached these behind. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and attach that one. And a little bit of glue on there. And attach that one. I just find it's easier to do it that way. Now this piece is going to go down the bottom, so I know that I can attach that because that's just where it's going to sit. So I can put that one on there already. Okay. And then we are going to just put some Tombow on the back of this. And I'm going to stand up for this one so that I can see that I'm placing it in the right spot, because I'm trying to get it reasonably central. There we go. And then, of course, we'll have some dimensionals. Might have to use some little ones. I think I've used all my large ones. And I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one. Okay. Can never have too many dimensionals, and we don't want any saggy bits. So let's just use our take your pick tool to get the backing off those. And as you'll notice, I always put a little line on mine. That's just so I can tell when I've got the backing off, so I don't have to go like that to know that the backing has actually come off my dimensionals. Hopefully that's straight, because I'm going sideways. Okay. But this time I think I need to put a bit of bling on. So I'm going to get the gems. So I've got two different sorts. Okay, so what I would love is if you want to let me know whether you want me to use the matte dots or if you want me to use the other. These are the resin dots and these are the shimmer gems. Let's just get them open. I always find these hard to open this way, so as I said, I always tip mine upside down. So you've got the shimmer gems, or you've got the resin dots. Let me know which one in the comments you think you'd like on the card. I'm going to put some on this one, and I think I might use the shimmer ones just because every girl likes bling. So let's just, okay, so when putting gems on, generally you do an odd number. And so I'm just going to work out where I'm going to put them. I'm going to put one down here. These ones are all the same size. And I'm going to put one, I'm going to put them all towards the bottom because I want this part to be the focal part. And I'm going to put one just here on the card so that they're all together, but in sort of a triangular pattern. So there's the shimmer gems on that one. Okay, so I'm not seeing any comments, so let's just go with the shimmer gems on the other one as well. Or do you want me to use the resin dots? Might use these ones. And I'm just going to do the two, because there's the two different ones. Let's do that. Do one there, and we'll do one there. Okay, so there you go. You've got your two different options. You've got the resin dots on the Petunia Pop one, and the shimmer gems on the Shy Shamrock. Which one's your favourite? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video today and gotten a chance to have a look at some new product. I'm just going to try and flip you down. Okay. There we go. So hopefully you've enjoyed that today and you'd like to be able to come back and see some more of me. I'm hoping to be doing videos a little bit more frequently. So I'll look forward to seeing you in the next week or two. I'm off up to Brisbane tomorrow to pick up my son who's coming back from the States from visiting his new fiancée. So lots of fantastic news there. But just a reminder that I do hold regular classes in Inverell. I have some at my studio and I also have some at a local shop. So if ever you're interested in doing classes while you're in the area, please feel free to reach out and get an idea of what's on offer at the time that you may be visiting. Also, as I said, I will hopefully be announcing some shares shortly. So I'm looking at doing an in-colour club where you purchase over 5 months and you get a colour, each of the in-colours per month. So that's $81 plus $15 postage each month. So I'll be announcing that and it's available to book into now. And also, as I said, I'll be looking at finalising plans for a retreat at the end of October. More details to come, but I am taking expressions of interest. If you're interested in coming or want to find out some more information, feel free to contact me. If you're wanting to buy any of the products you've seen today, you can head to my online store at wendyhodkinson.stampinup.net. And if you need to contact me at any time, the email is wendy_hodkinson@yahoo.com.au. And hopefully you've had a great time catching up with me, the same as I have with you. And we will see you all again soon. Bye for now.